Good, happy Wednesday evening. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Wednesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Wednesday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, rock crashes through woman's sunroof. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Manchester police are looking for whoever is responsible for throwing a rock through the sunroof of a car, hitting the driver in the head. It happened Monday night near the footbridge on 2nd Street. Police say they received several reports of young people throwing things off the bridge. The driver is expected to be okay.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 30 years since deadly microburst in Stratham. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Lockers. All these spaces need them, but installing them is the key. So we carry just about every kind of...
On August 18, 1991, a family reunion took a tragic turn when a severe thunderstorm suddenly hit. About 50 people were gathered under a wood pavilion at Stratham Hill Park when strong winds blew large trees onto it, causing it to collapse. 3 people were killed, 11 others injured, 2 of them critically.
To hear that they succumbed to their injuries, it was just flabbergasted.
Paul DeShane is the former Stratham town administrator. He was at the Emergency Operations Center on that day, coordinating all the response efforts.
When I got to the site, it was very disorienting because the entire hill was heavily forested before the storm, and when you got there, it was just a bald mound.
People who were outside when the storm hit said the wind was so strong they couldn't breathe in it. Gusts were blowing over 100 miles an hour. On review, the National Weather Service classified the storm as a microburst, strong winds coming straight out of a thunderstorm.
To this day, I hear first responders on that day that anytime they have the experience of smelling pine, it brings back memories of that because the smell of pine and pine trees was so permeable in the air.
Town leaders went on a mission to rebuild the pavilion and a second one that collapsed in time for the 25th anniversary of the Stratham Fair the following year. They managed to get it done with a lot of help from the community. The new pavilion now has a plaque that bears the names of the victims.
Hopefully the story is that we came out of it resilient.
Kevin Skarupa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Executive Council to consider additional $884,000 for vaccination PSA ad campaign. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New this morning, state health officials want to nearly double the amount of money being spent on a public service campaign to encourage Granite Staters to get vaccinated. Today, the Executive Council will consider paying additional $884,000 to a Manchester marketing agency, which already has a $434,000 contract. The campaign would be paid for with federal funds.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Homecoming held in Dover for New Hampshire Olympic medalist Jessica Parato. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Ever wondered about search? Visit YouTube to learn more about how search works.
A special homecoming for an Olympic medalist from Dover. Diver Jessica Parato was honored with a ceremony by town officials, the fire department, and Congressman Chris Pappas yesterday. She won a silver medal in Tokyo in the women's synchronized 10-meter platform dive, making her the first American to medal in that event.
This has just been such an overwhelming experience for me, and And I don't want to get emotional, but you guys have been behind me for so long, supporting me through everything, and I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Senator Maggie Hassan sent a letter to Parada saying, in part, your drive and dedication represent the best of the Granite State, and I hope you enjoyed the Olympic Games. You have made our state proud, and I look forward to seeing all that you will continue to accomplish.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Car hits guardrail, bursts into flames on Interstate 93. No one injured. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New on daybreak, a fiery scene on 93. Campton Thornton Fire Rescue says that crews responded to this car fire shortly before 5 yesterday evening. Witnesses say that the car hit a guardrail and then burst into flames. Firefighters say that a ruptured gas tank made it a stubborn fire to fight. No one was hurt.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. TSA, 2 loaded guns found in carry-ons at Manchester Airport within a week. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
TSA officers say they found 2 firearms in carry-on bags at Manchester Boston Regional Airport within a week of one another. On Friday, a .22 caliber firearm with 10 rounds, including 1 chambered, was found in a man's carry-on. And then a few days before that, a TSA officer detected a loaded .380 along with a magazine containing 6 rounds in a man's backpack. That's the 4th gun found at Manchester Boston Regional, the security area, so far this year, equivalent to the amount found in all of 2018. Passengers are allowed to have firearms in checked bags as long as they are unloaded, packed separately from ammunition, put in a locked hardback case, and then declared at the check-in counter. The penalty for breaking those rules can include thousands of dollars in fines.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Body of woman from Pennsylvania found in Westmoreland. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New on this morning, state police have identified a woman found dead in Westmoreland Sunday afternoon. Investigators say 41-year-old Tony Baker of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, was last heard from on July 22nd. Earlier that month, she had been the subject of several missing or vulnerable person bulletins in Pennsylvania and Brattleboro, Vermont. Police think Baker likely drowned on July 23rd and was carried into the Partridge Brook by floodwaters.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire Fish and Game honors hunter education volunteer for 60 years of service. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New Hampshire Fish and Game is honoring a hunter education volunteer for decades of service. Russell Galpin of Hillsborough has been an instructor for the last 60 years. He began teaching classes on safe, ethical hunting practices before it was ever mandated in New Hampshire. A bench was installed in his honor at the Owlbrook Hunter Education Center in Holderness. Galpin says that his 6 decades of teaching, he has helped more than 1,400 people, and he does not plan to stop anytime soon.
Okay, very cool. Congratulations to him. Awesome job there. Homes being evacuated in parts of Nashua after construction crew hit high-pressure gas line. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
We begin at noon with breaking news. 20 homes are being evacuated right now in part of Nashua after a construction crew hit a 6-inch high-pressure gas line. These are live pictures from the scene where crews are trying to put in a new shutoff valve down the line. This is happening right now in the area of Midland Street and Broad Street, which is just west of the Everett Turnpike near Exit 6. Firefighters are also checking gas readings in nearby homes. We will continue to follow this breaking situation and bring you updates as we receive them.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire family stuck in Kabul leaves airport is unable to return. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
News 9 is closely following the story of a Manchester family trying to leave Afghanistan, which we first reported earlier this week. In messages we received overnight that included several images, a member of that family told us they left the airport in Kabul because they felt it was becoming too dangerous being stuck between the Taliban and military troops. But now, when they try to get back to the airport, they're encountering Taliban checkpoints and violence. An uncle who tried to help them get through one of those checkpoints was beaten, they say, and they shared a picture of his injuries with us. The woman we've been communicating with says, quote, "There's no sense of order or direction. Everyone Afghan is fearing for their life, which is why the situation at the airport is getting worse." As we reported yesterday, Senator Shaheen's office is working to get this family home to New Hampshire. We are not using the name of the woman we're communicating with over fears for her safety and her family's safety. When we asked what anyone back here in New Hampshire can do to help, she said simply, just pray that things get better.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. That does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye, everyone.